Hello everyone, Uggsy here. How are we all this morning, this afternoon, this evening? Whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Say hi to Drummer, Havoc, Malachi, Taz, John, how are you all? Great to see you guys here already. Right. Scorpion, hello mate, how you doing? You want to double check you guys can hear me alright? A thumbs up in the chat if you're hearing me loud and clear. Hi Mark, how you doing? Nice to see you here. Right, so we've got a lot to do, so I've got my 3 able workers here lined up, Fusion, Drummer and Scott. No, we haven't got our little dog yet. G'day Malachi. Sounded a bit of a rough start to your day, or it won't be your start, but been pretty busy on the carving there. Thanks Mark. Right, so I've written a little list of what we're going to get done, or try and get done today. So we are going to get some lime on the fields. So if we have a look at the pH levels, they're not actually too bad when I was looking at them again, but we'll go around and get those all done. I've got 4 fields to plough, so we'll set one of the guys off doing that. So 58, 62, 63 and 64 all need to be ripped up. 60's still got stubble from the last harvest in it down the bottom there, so we'll get that cultivated. And then we might jump into some planting as well, so we'll see where we go with that. You would have seen I had the planters all lined up, they're back in the shed again now, but we'll, I think I might have made a mistake actually after last week when I looked at the size of the fields and drove around a few of them, that the big ear card and air seeder and a DB90 both might be a bit big. So I might put a, I've got a DB60 loaded in, so I might actually replace it with that. So we'll have a look and see about those. Anyhow, right, who's gonna go do something first? Any hands? Right, no one's putting their hand up, so we will get Scott, and he can go and start doing some liming. Hey Drummer, how you doing, bud? Great to see you here. Thanks for joining in. Right. Let her play around with these the other day too, with the placeable points I've put in over here, and it's particularly for this spout's just a little bit low, but the trigger does work. Okay, doesn't quite look right, but it's going into the hopper, which is the main part. So Malachi, you said about 50 calves. How many cows do you have that you have to carve? Obviously where I live we've got a lot of dairy farms around us. But we didn't live on a dairy farm, I grew up on a beef and cropping farm, but we used to get 4-day-old calves and hand rear them. Like I said, if there's anything you want to change, I might mix it up every week and give you a different hat to wear or change your shirt colour. I hate everyone to think that you're a unhygienic. So I think, looking at the lime, I might go down and do 58 just to have a look at that field. It's a small one that I'll drive around and do myself. and then I'll set Scott up on horseplay. All good, John. I'll catch you in a few minutes. And you're back. Alright, John Deere. I'll make sure I put something other than John Deere on. Right, there we go. $5 to fill that up. So that's not, those Placeables aren't cheap ones, they're actually sell points, but makes it easier. Hi there, Polar Bear. Welcome, nice of you to join us. Thanks for jumping on the stream. From Texas. How are things in Texas? Are they warming up? Being a polar bear in Texas the last couple of weeks probably would have been a nice place to be. Lazy Gamer, nice to see you, mate. Chad, as you are on Discord. Nice to have you here. Pleased you were able to join us. Right. Okay. I didn't actually realise there was a deepish sort of riverbed in there, or river, gully, so quite cool. Cool little bridge. How many times do you think I'll be fishing workers out of down there? That looks like a beautiful worker track to me. Quite a nice little fishing spot, but not fishing out tractors anyhow. Well, we're pleased it went that way and didn't go the other way. That's a big swing, but I suppose 81 would be what you'd be used to around this time of year. Right, let's have a look at what the spread width is on this. Ooh. This is not going to take long to cover the ground with a width like that. What I am going to do though, I think, is decrease our spray rate a little bit. Actually, that won't work, will it? That's a rookie mistake on using precision farming for the first time. I'll bring the mini-map up. There we go. You can see the pH levels adjusting as we're going around, which is good. Georgia Cyber Farmer, hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here joining us. For those who are just jumping in, we're going to try and get some lime on all our fields today and get some more ploughing, cultivating done, and possibly look at starting some seeding as well. Arctic Farmer, hello, from the north. How far north are we talking Arctic? Are we inside the Arctic Circle? Yeah, the joys of being on PC certainly gives access to a huge assortment of mods. But I was talking with someone earlier this week about console. I still really enjoy the rawness of console, the uncomplicated nature of console. And I do think that there's, there is a really good assortment of mods out there, obviously not the range that you can get on PC, but what's holding console back the most is just some of the scripts like the GPS and course play and all those kind of things. I mean, if you could get that on console and not have to rely on the workers all the time, it would think, really improve the experience for console players. Iceland, wow. And there we go, we see the precision farming actually cut that off. It didn't need it, so apparently I'm not going to be able to do that little piece. But if you look at the map, it's probably because of the sampling size of the map being a 4 times. I was talking about this spreader here is called a Terrogator. Malachi. Yeah, you see the name on the front there? I'd love to know where the lizard name came from as a brand. I'm assuming someone in Giants, when they were coming up with non-branded equipment, decided, you know what, let's call it lizard. Imagine what other suggestions might have been made. We're going to burn through a bit of cash doing this line. It's $5,000 a pop, because that's one of the smaller fields we have. But I suppose at the end of it, we should reap some rewards with a better yield and better income off the field. Yeah, this Terrogator, yep, 100%. It's a mod, PC. Can't remember where I found it, but I've used it on. Well, I haven't used it on gameplays or anything, but it's one that's been around for quite a while. So, right, one other thing I'm thinking about doing after our challenges with courseplay last week with this tractor is actually thinking of replacing it. So we might go and do that a little bit later. With the Steiger released by Kale Farms this week, I thought that would be a good tractor to replace it with. I'm not going to be fiercely brand loyal or anything like that in this. In this Let's Play. So if you think we should do that, let me know what you think about that as an idea anyhow. Hiya Ethan, how are you? Nice to see you, mate. Thanks for joining the stream. Hello Trey, I am doing well. It is 6:30 AM and looks like it's going to be a beautiful day once the sun gets up and we start moving. So I'm just trying to think here while I'm talking about where we're gonna start ploughing. So I might get Scott here again. I'll get him started ploughing and get one of the other guys to go and jump back in the Terrogator. There, it's full. So let's look at setting some courseplay up on this one. Did people know? There's one thing I know a lot of people didn't know. So if you double click on the field, there I clicked on 8, brings up 8 instead of having to tab through, especially if you've got lots of fields like I technically do because we own all of this down here even though we're not farming it. That was bought for the factories, but if you double click on something, field 63, fix it. So certainly makes it easy than having to tab through. Right, 3 headlands, Start on up and down rows. Go clockwise. Alright, let's see how that goes. Hi Yako, how you doing, dude? Welcome to us from South Africa. Nice to have you here, bud. And no, you're not late, and no one's ever late. You're here when you can be here, and I appreciate it if you're here for 5 minutes or if you stay for the whole stream. So, never ever need to say you are late. Hiya Sam, how you doing? Nice to have you here as well, dude. Hope you're well. Right, so we are done there. This is one mistake I always make as well. I never change where to start the course. Always forget to look at that. Right. So, I'm going to go to the first waypoint. I suppose in this case I can blame the driver. So Scott, you need to remember to change that next time. Right. And I need to remember that too. With the contractor mod I'm using, you can't hop out of vehicles if they're running as a worker. So we need to tab across. Righty ho. I'm doing well, thanks fellas, thanks for asking. I've been looking forward to this actually for the last couple of days. I had fun last week for the first time, first stream. I've actually been quite looking forward to getting back on this and being able to have a chat to you all. Hey Tim, how you doing mate? Nice to see you. I did actually have a look at Touch Portal, so I've downloaded it. I was having a play around with it the other day and had the OBS free screen and was just touching the buttons and actually managed to go live without realising it. So I had a few messages saying I was live, and but they couldn't get onto my stream, and that was all through user error. But it looks pretty neat. It looks pretty cool. I'm gonna have to have a bit more of a play around with it. I haven't got the pro version yet, but certainly the free version I did play with seemed to work pretty well in terms of using it like Stream Deck or something like that. So I will certainly be looking at getting that set up a little bit better. Although I couldn't see on their website any pre-made OBS screens for something more than the basic free version. So I don't know if there is any third-party websites or anyone that does that. But yes, lazy, thanks. I had put two and two together. I think I saw your earlier comment saying it was Chad from Discord. Or that you were Chad, so I'd put two and two together, and I think you'd mentioned as well from your couple of comments you'd left on some videos, so great you're able to make it, mate. Good to have you here. Thanks, Scorpion. Yeah, I think once we get the farm going a little bit more, that things will go pretty well. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to getting into some of the production side of things. So we might, we've got some trees you can just see over there, which we might cut a few down today and get the sawmill going, more carton production going. I think a lot of the other factories need cartons for outputting goods that we can sell, so we'll have to have a look at that. And I've been contemplating how to deal with loading and unloading for things like that, because obviously, you know, whether I put a forklift or a skid steer or a loader of some sort at each sell point, that I can use to load and unload things. Or sorry, not sell point, but factory. Or whether there's a vehicle out there, modded vehicle that might have a, you know, a flatbed with ramps or something that I could drag a skid steer around. But yeah, I'll have to have a think about that because that's something we'll need to do. So Tim, obviously you've been playing with it a lot and using it. Does it take much to get your head around how to program your own buttons? I was just clicking on some of them and having a look, and some of the if this then that type concept was I was worried it was going to be a bit above my pay grade. Platinum Egg, hello, how are you? I would say this morning, and I want to keep saying this morning because it is my morning, but wherever you are, wherever you're catching up with us from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Alright, why is that not turned off? I would have thought with precision farming that would have stopped. Is it because we're just picking up that narrow little piece there? Yeah, thanks Sam. I'm pleased to hear that, and like feedback from others as well on it. It's something I haven't seen done. I don't know if anyone else has done something like that, but I just thought, yeah, for those who didn't catch the stream or anyone new to the channel, if you're wanting to follow in with what we're doing in the series, where we've been, where we're coming from, where we're going, I just thought if I could do a little two minute recap of everything. I know a few times I've missed people's streams and that it's just it's not the same watching it delayed and not live, and you know, not being able to interact and chat. So I thought I'd save people the pain of going through that, and obviously there's still that option if they want to watch more and find out more about what we did. But I just thought if I did that sort of the day before I'd go live, it's kind of it's a bit of a recap, and two, it's a bit of a promo to catch the next one. So I'm pleased to hear that you enjoyed it. Hey Leinster. Yes, it is a early start. The sun is not up yet. The sky is just starting to lighten. It is 6:40 AM, so don't need to time these things to catch when you guys are all up and about. And it's like a lot of things, Tim, once you learn it, it becomes simple. I suppose it's a lot like anything, even farm sim, learning Courseplay and GPS and any of those mods, or really just understanding the ins and outs of cropping and, you know, all the different ploughing and liming and what you need to do to mow grass and all those kind of things. It's something you just learn and will pick up. Perhaps I should title my stream something about from the future. Live from the future, Scorpion. It's really, we are, there's not many people ahead of us. I think there's a couple of small islands in the Pacific. I do remember around the millennium, one of the islands I thought changed where they were in relation to the international dateline, so swapped sides to try and be the first country to see in the new millennium. Thanks Trey, I'm pleased to hear you liked it. Great to be able to see you in this stream. Hello Scott, how are you? Nice to see you, bud. You are over here. Hard at work ploughing this field, so looks like you're keeping some nice straight rows. We'll see how you go once we get the headland passes done. But you're doing a good job so far, so keep that up. Yep, 6:40 AM Saturday morning, so just getting into our weekend. It's a nice way to start the weekend too. Get up and get into things. I think the family are all still asleep, but they will start rattling around the house soon. So if you do hear any noises in the background, I apologise. It'll be a either the children making themselves breakfast or getting up and getting started in the day. I can, Tim. So this is Red Dirt County, the 4x map. It's by TNT Modding, who of more recent fame would be Eureka. I kept on saying it wrong last week and I was corrected. Eureka Farm and Bucks County, I believe. It's based on a area outside Oklahoma, or in Oklahoma, sorry, not outside Oklahoma. I've had a look on Google Earth and you can spot a lot of the real parts of it. I'm just save me that. So while we're there, I'll put drummer on work mode. So it's yeah, you can spot these round fields, these circular fields down here with the pivot irrigators. You can see those on Google. You can see the river that runs through the sort of bottom corner, left hand side. So you can spot a lot of that. What attracted me to it, and actually Farm Sim guy sent me a link to it a month or so ago and said, have a look at this, what do you think? So I thought I'd check it out and thought actually this would make a good one to do some live streams on. So it has a lot of built-in global company placeables, which are all here, you can see. So I've gone through and bought that. You need to own the land that they're on to be able to use them, but you can see here cartons, which is like a sawmill, produces empty cartons, which a lot of the other ones use. You can see where they are here on the map, flashing away. So yeah, cartons. There's a clothing factory down here which takes wool and cotton to make clothes. There's a cookie factory just over the road which takes sugar, flour, and there's one other raw product, I think, salt, is it? Oh, milk, eggs. So yeah, a few there. It's got built-in mixers for your feed, a dairy which takes milk, and this one actually takes a lot, 5 different things. Sugar, salt, milk, cartons. So actually similar to the cookie one, just not with the flour. Outputs cheese, ice cream and butter. Flour, which is obviously quite basic. Wheat and barley. Meat, which again, if you've seen Farm Sim Guy's videos on meat, you'll know what that takes. Pigs and cows. So we've got a pig farm on our section, so we'll look at doing those. There's a salt mine. You can add some water and get some salt out of there. Cartons, water. We'll look at that one. Water. You add water and pellets and it creates salt out of a salt mine. And then a sugar factory which uses sugar cane or sugar beet to produce sugar and some water. So yeah, I thought that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, just as an overview, tons of fields, 130 something, 140, 141 down in the bottom right corner there, laid out in a big grid, just like the real world is, real places. And yeah, now your lazy acres, thanks Fusion. Yeah, I'll show you the sprayer I've got in a moment, Leinster. But I do see that there's a attachment for the back of this. I think if no, not under there, it's on this side. Yeah, there's an attachment for this one as well. I could have put on as a sprayer, 36 meter wide, so decent size. Alright, so we'll just run this until it's needs filling up again, and then we'll go and get one of the other guys set up on some more cultivating. I think we've got just field 60 to cultivate, which is the odd shaped one, or that just there. So we'll try and get that set up on Courseplay with one of the other tractors. I I had to give Drummer a warning last week, Trey. He was operating an excavator while he was watching, so make sure you're being safe. Don't get distracted by me. What are you operating that you could lose a finger in? Alright, there we go, we're empty. I think we're shaping up to have a beautiful weekend here in New Zealand. It's last week of summer obviously for us. Oh, is that right, John? I did see you comment earlier actually, sorry. I didn't comment on that. I actually quite liked, I was going to have a look on Google Earth in a bit more detail, but I thought the area you'd picked actually was quite cool. Yes, certainly, working in a cabinet shop would not want to be distracted. I'm actually an architect, I would say in the real world, but yeah, my day job is an architect, so I've been into a few cabinet shops, or joinery shops as we call them over here. There you go, Tim, I just answered it without even, your comment just popped up on my screen, obviously with the bit of a delay. It comes with a built-in geo. So there's an Oklahoma-based geo, so if I just bring up the seasons menu there, you can see obviously the planting, normally with just the default seasons, everything's planted in spring and harvested in autumn, late autumn, winter, early winter for some of them, but this is very much, you know, you can see the wheat there. You can plant wheat pretty much any time of the year except for late spring, early summer, and harvesting's sort of from early summer, so I guess it probably gives you the option of doing possibly dual crop rotations. If you were to plant, say, just trying to think how this could work. If you were to be able to plant corn right on the first day, although it's a bit cold at the moment, and harvest it on the first day, you'd be able to get some wheat in there, and no, it wouldn't quite overlap the harvest. But yeah, that's there. That was obviously down the bottom there, alfalfa and clover on the map as well. Hello, Mr. Simulator. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from. Anything famous? No. No, we're the city I live in has a population of about 90,000, so it's more of the boring, mundane stuff. A lot of housing, residential work. A lot of my clients now. Well, there's only about, you know, being a country of about 5 million, there's probably only 2 or 3 large firms which do the majority of the well-known work here. Hello, Mr. Bowser. Hope I've pronounced that right. Welcome. Nice to have you join the stream. And good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I've just got you out here running the Terrogator, Drummer. You're going to be my lineman today. No coronas though, not on work time. No worries, Arctic. It's always, you know, always fun to be able to update people and you know, make you aware of something you might not have known existed in the game. I'm still, you know, every day finding out new things, new maps, new mods. Just like once if you're into the PC side of things, once you get on like Facebook and find out a lot of the mods that were get released there, it's a rabbit hole. It really is. You know, like last week, Snow Creek Farm, I had the silage bagger which popped up on a page as having been released, and I thought that's pretty neat, and actually fitted in quite well with where I was at in that series. So, you know, and from a mod point of view, it worked pretty well. There's a couple of little things that would have been nice, but generally speaking, it was a pretty neat mod. Yeah, Geo's, yeah, right, there was a time there when it felt like that's all you got was a Geo. Actually, I must say, I don't know what other people's thoughts are this week on Mod Hub's been a little bit underwhelming really with mod releases. I haven't actually looked at last night's or Friday's release. Obviously they come out at very early in the morning for me the following day, but I haven't even looked. But yeah, Thursday's one was pretty disappointing, I thought, but anyhow. Hello Will's Farm Life. How you doing, mate? Nice to have you here. Hope you're having a good day, probably the last day of the week, or the weekend. What are you talking about there, Taz, with the alfalfa? Multiplayer on Medicine Creek. Sorry, I don't know if I missed something earlier, but... Friday afternoon flask is a must. In moderation and responsibly. That's all I'm going to say. No worries, Chad. You go and enjoy your dinner. Hope you're having something nice. I haven't had breakfast yet, so don't make me too hungry. Straw man. I don't know where you guys are all from, whether you get that, but we get a lot of that around here at different times of the year. Farmers build straw men and whatnot for kids, and around Halloween and that sort of thing. See them popping up around the place. Oh cool, Lazy Acres is out. Yeah, it's interesting. Giants, I don't want to get into a discussion about it, but they seem to have been having a real knee-jerk reaction to modders lately. Well, you know, obviously Oxygen David and TNT both being banned, and now they're back. The, you know, guys over summer or, you know, around Christmas with the 3D tracks. You just feel like there could be a more balanced way to resolve some of those issues. Not making it so public. You know, we didn't need to know what was going on with Oxy and them to walk away like that and have to make a statement, or, you know, likewise with TNT. You know, he said on the Farm Sim show a couple of weeks ago, and he was on, and he said it was an honest mistake that he left those in there, and, you know, while they got through testing and he didn't say anything about them, it's you know, hardly his fault, but he didn't go out deliberately to deceive Giants or anything. But anyhow, like I said, I don't want to get into a debate about that, but that's just my 2 cents. Oh, using the bagger. Taz, nice. Works with alfalfa, that's good to know. I haven't got any alfalfa on No Creek Farms, but I was going to possibly try it out with some corn silage. Depends on the mapper Arctic. Some do. Obviously this one was, and they'll say in the description for the map when you download it. So this one actually came with a little had, sorry, just trying to concentrate on two things at once, had a readme file in it which explained how the geo worked. Alright, drummer, I don't know if that's the most efficient way to do the field, crosswise. But we'll let you go anyhow. We have to come back and fill up because you're not going to get this whole field done in one pass. But anyhow, see how you go. Yeah, hello Polis. How you doing, bud? Nice of you to be able to join us. Great to have you here. Not run by adults. I think I said to myself a minute ago, don't jump out because you'll stop the course. I'll get there. I'll get into the swing of it. Alright, I've got fusion going now. Fusion, what do you want to do? We go get some cultivating done, or we'll get some cultivating done. Let's get you the 9RT, eh? How does that sound? Oh, and while we're here, Leinster, you were asking about sprayer. So we've got this Case Patriot here set up on the row crop jewels. So when we get to some spraying, we'll get that going. Yeah, I wonder how much of the Giants thing's a language issue. With, you know, obviously being German, well, actually correct, to be really correct, Austrian-based company, I believe. But now offices in Germany, but yeah, I just wonder how much of it might be a language issue. Don't know. We'll put the speed disc on this. Keep the green with the green today. You know, sort of the lost in translation side of things. You sometimes read the comments that modders have shared to say why they were having issues, and they come back with things that are quite difficult to understand. So I do wonder if some of it's language barrier, but anyhow. No worries, Tim. Mustard Seed of Hope video interview. I'm shooting by this probably. Sounds interesting. Yeah, well, maybe we'll touch base sometime and have a look at how we get the or what you'd suggest for setting that up for with Streamlabs and that, or OBS, sorry. Anyhow, take care. Hope everything goes well with your video. Nice that you're able to join us. Alright, get this unfolded. Will do, drummer. No worries whatsoever. Job half done. Perfect timing, Paulus, after work, opening a beer. What I like to hear. I mean, some of it too, Scorpion, I certainly don't necessarily agree with some of the modders who go out and throw their toys either. I actually think, you know, from the track debacle at Christmas, Sid Modding actually was probably the most honest about it and said, you know, look, I've made a genuine mistake, it's not Giants, don't get angry at them. Whereas others tried to defend what had happened, and, you know, again, don't know all the details, I'm not going to get into it in any detail either, but it does sound like they were using you know, someone might have cracked the DLC, but they were provided the script not knowing that it had come from the cracked DLC. So, well, that's at least the explanation I'd seen. So, you know, there's always two sides to a story, and we don't often hear the Giant side of things. I don't know if anyone caught the Farm Sim show the other day with when they had Chris or Chucky on it. So he was an interesting guy, and had some interesting views on things, shared what he could and that, so it was kind of cool to see them having someone come out and talk in a sort of public forum, share what he could share. Yeah, cheers Tim, see you bud. What is this Cultivator Mod? This is one in Mod Hub. Can't remember the name of it and where it comes under. Let me just find it. No. There we go. On there. A 2680 high performance disc. So it's a surprising one because it needs 560 horsepower for 12 meters, where you compare it to, you know, one I've got this 14 meter one. Oh, that needs 550. There's a couple of other ones, I think, like the John Deere plow. 12 meters and only needs 200 horsepower, but technically it's plowing, which I would have thought, you know, being a more of a ripper type cultivator would have needed more power than something like this, which is a more of a disc, cutting disc. Anyhow, looks like we need to get over and get drummer refilled. Yeah, I think I've probably talked enough about it anyhow, but I'm glad those things are in the past and they have been able to sort out differences, which is the main thing, you know. While there is other games out there, I do believe this is the best farm sim game on the market at the moment. So, which actually brings me to the next thing, and I see Farm Sim Guy posted in his Discord, and I was going to as well. I got a notification from Steam that it was in early access, is North Modding Company's game. I'm not going to pronounce it, I can't even remember it off the top of my head. It started with B, but that looks pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone else has seen that. Sort of a large open world, heavy machinery, mining, excavating type map. What's obviously most interesting with that is the way they, you know, showing using that everything's diggable, cuttable, fillable, movable. So where we have to use like the landscape tool to contour, they're actually using machinery. So I thought that was pretty neat. Definitely worth a look anyhow, see how it all, we'll keep an eye on and see how it all develops. Could be a bit of a pointer too to obviously, you know, not same company or anything, but what they can do in their game with things like that might be a show off some of the capabilities that maybe Giants can include in the next farm sim. Alright, I'll get into the corner and might just send Fusion here off on a work course and go and get the other two guys sorted out. Looks like Drummer's lime spreader needs refilling and Scott's finished that field, finished playing that field, so I haven't been going an hour and I already feel like we've achieved quite a bit. I don't know if we're going to get to any planting yet. We'll see how we go. Maybe we'll pull the planter out and get at least one field done. We'll see how we go. Alright, what I might do is we'll cut straight across here. We cut straight across here and set Fusion going on that line. He should be able to get some up and down rows done here in the middle while we go and sort out these other two. So let's have a look, Scott. How did you go with your ploughing? not too bad. A few corners we'll go and tidy up. What crops are we going to put in? Right, so I've written a bit of a list, and obviously so there's two things I want to be able to do. I want to be able to use some of the factories, Placeables, global company factories, and I want to get some pigs. So I might get some pigs and buy some pig feed until we have our own crops and can use the feed mixer. But I think I'm going to put some sugar beet in a couple of the smaller fields, ones over there by the trees, some corn in a couple of fields, some wheat in a couple of fields, and a few soybeans as well. So that'll be enough for what we need to make some pig feed, and then the wheat can be used in the flour mill and some of the other bits and pieces, and the sugar beet would be partly for the pigs but also for the sugar plant, because it's quite a few of the different factories needed sugar. So that's the plan at this stage. Obviously with the sugar beets I wouldn't be buying, well, I don't think I'd buy the harvesters at this stage. I'll probably just lease them. Get some bacon growing. Yeah, I better get some chickens and eggs. Perfect breakfast. The only downside to course players, I need to probably play, if I played around with overlaps and what the worker did on the corners, I could probably get these done without having to go back and do them, but I think it's just simpler to do it yourself sometimes. Tidy up these little bits. Yeah, water I think's the liquid for this one. Just look, but put that. Yeah, wood chips, trees, and water. I'm gonna have to get a water tanker of some description. And those trees over there, Leinster, I'm planning on cutting some of those down, so I might do that soon. I thought it might be something I'll do today. Get at least some logs in, if not. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with the wood chips. Again, I wondered actually about buying a buy point for those. I have got one of Quiet Hitman's set of pallets installed, which you can buy wood chips through. Right, so that is... what field's that? That's 63 done. So I've got 62 and 64, these two over here. So let's go have a look at them. But actually before, what I was going to do in this field, I'm just going to run down the edge and just make it a touch wider. Try and do that without going too far past. When I was doing the landscaping for this shed, so this is one of the trailer park farms, large sheds. Okay. Just run along on this line. Yeah, I did a bit of landscaping and had to make this bit of an edge, so run down here and make the field just a touch bigger. Tree, I do enjoy seasons. I found it when I've been doing Let's Play series, like Pubic Valley, and that I found it a little bit difficult from a content point of view to sort of creating videos. But by default I'd play on seasons. If I was just doing it for fun, I'd always play on seasons. I just like the immersiveness and how it adds that extra dimension to it with, you know, when can you plant, when can't you plant. The only frustration I've come into is some crops with you know, not getting them, being able to harvest them because they're wet, corn being one of them, which is kind of a bit of a bugbear. And PC's fine because you can get corn dryers and you can actually turn the crop moisture off if you want to do it that way. But yeah, I'd play on seasons all the time. The changes to the animal systems with the breeding, the way the animals breed, and the way sheep only produce wool in spring and those kind of things. I just think it's, you know, adds another level of immersion to the game. Right, here we go. That field squared off now, so we'll run down and start on another one of the other ones. Then we'll come back and get the Terrogator filled up. I haven't looked at Studio 82's tanker actually, Polar Bear. I'll check that out and maybe get that installed. Max out overlap 20%. Well, how about we try that on the next field we do, Scott, seeing you are driver, and we'll see where we go. All good, Havoc. That's one of my jobs to do today, is get out and mow the lawns. Alright. Looks like we've got a withered sugar beet in this field. Alright, let's see if we can get this going again. So, double click on 64, we'll go around 3 times. The headland overlap 20. Yeah, so 20% is maxed. Alright, see what that comes up with. That looks like a pretty efficient course. So see, set Scott going there. Yes, this one doesn't actually have a traditional sawmill on it, which just, you know, as a sell point, it's only got the carton factory. So, and yeah, what did it have? So outputs 5 different things: carton, empty pallets, paper, fence posts, and boards. So the boards, fence posts, and paper I don't think are usable anywhere in any of the other placeables, so that'd just be income. But obviously the cartons and empty pallets can both be used. Alright. Where are we heading? Must just be a little bit of an overlap there to get the rows in properly. I'm hoping that's what you're doing, Scott. Alright, we'll leave you going. We'll jump over here with the drummer and go and get the line filled up. I haven't used the TLX in a game. I've played with it a couple of times, or driven it a couple of times in my top 10 mod videos I've been doing. I haven't had any issues. I have heard, you know, a few people find it a little bit buggy with just some of the customization that 82 Studios have put into it. The speed, actually, you know, one thing I'm really impressed with with 82 Studios, I think David it is the speed that he's put mods out at. He's pretty, if he's doing it all on his own, he's pretty efficient with his modding, with his modelling and everything. Quite impressive. Alright, so just while we're waiting for that to fill up, have a look how Fusion's going over here. Yep. You're doing a good job there, Fusion. You're going up and down those rows pretty well. We'll just leave us a couple of smaller bits here and probably up there that we'll need to do ourselves. Scott's running the plough in there. That seems to be all working pretty well. And we go to precision farming. we've got a bit of lime on the field. I've been around at least once. You can sort of see the worst part through here, which was quite that bright yellow. It's only sort of changed one colour, but you know, the fields we've done down here are looking much better in a pH. It's actually interesting, I was looking at the different fields yesterday, and this one down here had 119% of expected yield being a high loam, and I think there was one over here, 125, so that field there must be completely loam and is the best it can be in the game. So most of ours, you know, 106 across this part of the farm and 103 there, so still better than average, which is nice. Alright, there we go. I get back. Drummer going again here, interrogator. So if I start course at current waypoint, that should here we go, we're off. Right, let's jump back over here where Fusion is cultivating. Stop the worker and I'll take back over. Put that back down, right. So this is the last field we need to get cultivated, so I think what I might do once we're finished here is I might look at getting the planter out and getting a couple of fields planted. And then we'll see how we're going time wise. We might then sneak in a little bit of logging at the end. But yeah, I like the idea of that Telex tanker actually for the water, so I might not bother buying a water tanker today and save that for next time to get the carton factory or carton production going properly. All good, drummer. If we lose you, we lose you, but it's been great to have you here while you can be. So when I was looking at what we're going to plant where, I'm going to put wheat in 59 and 58, so we might start planting on those ones, although I need to get 58 ploughed before we can plant it. 60 was going to be soybeans. I'm going to put soybeans in this one. Send me that in Discord, John. I'll have a look, but just double check because I thought, just double check on that. We'll have a chat. I thought it may have already been done for 19. I know I've heard it mentioned a lot anyhow. Yeah, if you want to share links with me, probably best to send them to me in Discord, so I don't have to trawl through the chat later. So for those of you who are interested, we've got a multiplayer server on the Discord channel. We'll be on that at the same time tomorrow. I think we've got a silage harvest, or silage chopping harvest, whatever you want to call it, set up to go. So we'll be on that for an hour and a half, 2 hours tomorrow. The map is a Polish map in Granson Brine Beam. It's a mod hub map. Everything, all the mods we're using are all off mod hub. And it's a limited number of mods. So if you're interested, jump on the Discord. There's a link to download the mods. I've put the server name is up in there, so you can find it and make sure once you've downloaded the mods that they're all the right ones, that you don't get any warnings for not having the correct mods. And then once we're all set up and going tomorrow, I'll share the password in Discord, and you'll be able to join and have some fun doing a silage harvest. Chaff harvest. Funny you say chaff, we call it when we're chopping silage for you know, chopping corn for silage. It's just chopping. So we've actually on the where I live, we've got a we're on part of the family farm, and we've got some corn or maize growing on the farm that'll be chopped for silage for one of the local dairy farms. So it's probably at about a month away from being chopped. Normally it's done through March, early April. So I have actually thought about doing some going and capturing some footage of that and putting it on the channel, or at least getting some photos and sharing them on Discord. Thanks, John. There you go. Anyone wants to join, there's the Discord channel on Discord server link. Coleman, hello, how are you? Nice to see you, dude. Hope all is well in your part of the world. I don't know if you're in Spain working at the moment, or back in Ireland. But hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are doing it well. Thanks, mate. Nice to have you here watching. Enjoy your building a new farm in no man's land. I'll wait to see some photos of it, no doubt, on Discord. We will catch you later. Cool, Scorpion. I'll yeah, if everything works out timing wise, obviously I need to be home and not at work when it happens. As often the case, it doesn't quite coincide, but if I can get it to work, I will see what I can do. Alright, how are we going? It's all done, just got that little bit over there to do. And then we'll go and pull the planter out. I don't know whether there's a mod or something that's glitching, but you'll see the mini-map's got some flickering on the sell points, or the unload point. Alright, so the plough's finished again, and the irrigator needs another load of lime. Certainly keeping us busy. Right, that's that little bit done. Thought I'd run down and grab that. Get down this side of the field. Cool, Malachi. Yeah, it'd been nice to see that. in Spain till June. Really, yeah. I can imagine that's a long time away from home, mate. Yeah, it's funny, I'll often come home from a day at work and something's changed on the farm, whether it's some grass has been mown for hay or fields planted or harvested. The landscape's always changing. One of the beautiful parts about living in the country. Can't go wrong with a good platter of tappers. I have to ban food talk in the chat, you'll make me all hungry. Can a stew. Right, we'll get this a little bit finished and then go sort out these other tractors before we start to look at the planting. Yeah, it's be interesting to see how we go because we're going to have to get the ear cut and the big drill into there to get some wheat planted. It'll be interesting to see how it goes in that field, especially with these tight little corners. Might be a bit of a challenge, but see how we go. It'll annoy me, that little strip there. 12 minutes behind. Ouch. Well, rest assured, drummer, you're doing a good job. With your lime spreading. You're going through it pretty quick though. I just wish you could drive to fill it up yourself. I was watching Kedrick the other day with his auto drill courseplay course he had set up for loading and unloading the, or filling the slurry spreader with. Well, I probably could have looked at doing that, but by the time I'd taken to set that up just for one field, I'm not sure how it would have worked for the rest. I probably would have ended up crashing into something. If I was working any further away from the yard, I'd certainly look at getting a auger wagon or something for the line, so we didn't have to drive back and forth all the time, but being just over the road, it's not too far. I'm assuming the something for drainage common. I'm not 100% certain. There's no, like you see, you're driving through it, there's no contouring in the map as such, but you know, obviously I do know from other maps, Flint Hills and the like, that there is grass strips around fields to control soil erosion and water runoff and things like that. So I can only assume this is the same. It does, if you look on the mini-map, you can see it all sort of heads down towards the river on that side of that left-hand side of the map. So I'm not going to lie, I did consider ploughing them up and making this into one big field, 58, 59, 60, all into one field. Maybe next season we'll look at doing that. It's going to be actually different doing all the production things, because all the crops we harvest are kind of earmarked for something, whether it's one of the factories or for animals. So we won't actually be growing the crops just to sell the raw material. Alright John, thanks for joining mate. We will catch you later. Looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be fun. Right, I'll get this backed in here. I'll make it my mission to keep the farmyard nice and tidy and not leave kit all over the place. Alright, here we go. Right, I'll just leave that there and go and sort out the other two. Certainly did a better job on those corners. You can see. Still can see too much. Stop. There you go. So there's still a few bits on the corners, but it definitely did a better job than the last one. These tight corners always are hard, but we'll go and get these little bits and pieces tidied up. And then we'll be on to our last field of ploughing. That corner done, just this little bit over here. Tell you what, those are some pretty tall trees. We're going to get a bit of wood out of those. The other thing I thought, if I can cut down sort of in a straight line through there, get the trees all out, we could actually make these two fields one field and join them up as well. Right. Just try 2 headland passes this time, because it's such a small field. Right, might save on the corners as well. So let's go see how this one goes. Right, there you go. Scott's underway again. Sorry, I just had one of my boys up and out and saying hello. Alright. Nice to have you join us, Scott. Pleased you were able to pop in and say hi. You're not doing a too bad job with the ploughing there, so we'll keep you on for another week. Hope you have a good weekend, mate. Whatever you might be doing with it. Right, let's just leave that filling up and we'll go get this pulled out. I will put the drill directly behind the tractor and drag the cart around behind, but I just think it might be easier to get some seed and everything into here. Alright, and that's got quite a long arm on it, doesn't it? Can't remember the open cover. Yes, it does. Let's fold that bit. Oh, doesn't have a collision on it either by the looks of things. Alright. Again, still getting used to the tabbing between rather than hopping out. Yeah, pretty much Fusion, so it actually takes away the ability to tab. Instead of tabbing between vehicles, you tab between the characters. So that's, yeah, tab, tab, tab. Goes between the four different contractors that I've got. And there's a, once you've got it activated on a game, there's a XML in the save file which you can reconfigure, and that can have up to, I actually don't know what the cap on number of workers is, but you can add extra. 4's just the default and what I've started with, but you can add more. So it's a pretty cool little way of doing things. Quite like it. Right. Get drummer going here on current waypoint. Oh. Right, here we go. Right, and let's see if we can get some seed and fertilizer into this bad boy. How close I have to be. There we go. Oh, I haven't quite got it under the trigger properly. There we go, that looks better. Well, you can't even, technically, you can't even tab. So if I hop out here, you know, I can hop into that, but if I hit tab, I just go to one of the other people. This is Brenda, Scott, drummer, Fusion. So if I wanted to, I'd have to run over. If say I want to get in the truck there, I have to run over. The other way, if it's, you know, if you're a long way from anything, you can go in and select the vehicle and, oops, not reset, enter it that way. So that's the, you know, yeah. Going into the map and selecting and entering is the only way if you wanted to go between vehicles which were a long way apart. You look quite good in there, Fusion. That Patriot suits you. Right. Find back where we were. Yeah, so we'll just run back over there. Ronald Hoffman, hello. How you doing, mate? Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining the stream. Nice to have you here. So, good timing. We're just about to try and get some planting started. Just need to get some seed into the cart. If I can get this under the trigger this time. There you go, that looks a bit better. Yeah, so we've had a busy day so far. We've got quite a lot of lime spreading done. You can see the interrogator over there in the distance spreading some lime there. There's another tractor. Can't quite see it. Must be behind the shed, one of the sheds there. There we go. It's our last field we need to plough. So once we're done, once the plough's finished, everything's ploughed and all cultivated, ready to start planting. And we've been across a few of the fields with some lime. So you can see 58, 59 and now 8 have all had lime applied to them. So we've got, you know, 62, 63, 64 and 60 still to go. And yeah, then we're into some planting. So I'm going to start off by putting some wheat over in this field over here, number 59, and I think I'd written down I was going to put wheat in 58. So I'll just have a quick look. So yeah, wheat's fine, temperature's good. Corn and soybeans, which we're also going to plant some of, still not quite warm enough, and same with sugar beet. We're going to put some sugar beet in. Still not warm enough either, but well, plenty of other things to do to keep us busy. Alright, there we go, it's full. So let's fold it away. Alright, and let's go and get the drill. Get that backed into the air cart. I was saying earlier I'd got all this big gear, partly because I wanted to use it. I haven't had the chance to use a lot of this equipment yet, and I thought, oh, this would be a good map. It's a 4x. But as I've got into these fields, I actually feel like this might almost be a little bit too big. I'm sure I'll make it work, but we'll see how it goes. We've also got the DB90 planter, which I might swap out and replace with a DB60. G'day John, how you doing mate? Thank you for joining in. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you. Great to be able to see you were able to join the stream. Your comments the other day on No Creek Farms just made my day. It's, you know, it's what we try to do as creators, is come up with stuff that people want to watch and enjoy watching. So to hear that you'd, you know, binge watch the whole lot was pretty cool. Alright, let's get going with some planting. Put that down. Alright, let's have a look. Here we go. This is going to be interesting when we get up in these tighter little corners, how this all works, but seems to be going alright so far. The map's showing the fertilizer going down and getting that nitrogen level up, which is perfect. Right, and now just as we're doing that, the plough's finished that field, apart from a couple little bits we'll tidy up. So there we go, that's all our tillage, cultivation, ploughing completed. So I might, I am looking at field 8 whether I can make that a bit bigger. Get a little bit of land either side of it. There's a couple of cutouts and that in there that we're not going to put a... I think it's set up that you could put a placeable, build a farm or something in there. We're not going to do that, so I might look at going in and ploughing some of that up as well and making that field a bit bigger. Might look a bit dinky and small on the front for a big tractor, the 9RT. But it seems to be pulling it alright. Oh, you could always wait to the recap drummer and the end of the week and catch up that way. I know a few of you commented on it earlier, but be keen to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. I don't know if you saw the little 2-minute video I did last night, which just sort of ran down what we did last week. Thought I'd do that every week just as a recap and refresher on what happened in the last stream, and for anyone who hadn't caught the last stream, they'll be able to get an update on what's going on the farm. I know from my point of view, if I've ever missed a live stream and tried to sit down and watch it delayed, it's quite difficult to get involved in, because obviously with a live stream you invest a bit of effort into keeping up and chatting, so it was just the way I thought maybe we could keep everyone up to date. And you know, if you join the channel and you've missed 10 live streams, it wouldn't take too long to catch up on everything. Right, well, this was the tightest little corner, and the way that cart and drill and everything's set up, that is turned around there perfectly. I think the 9RX or the Steiger is probably the only tractors that would, or the Big Bud, the tractors that would look the right size on the front of this, but not complaining horsepower wise, 11 miles an hour, so. Chewing through the diesel at 80 litres an hour, but when you've got a 1300 litre tank, it's not going to take too long. Quite Hitman, mate. How you doing, bud? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening where you are. I'm assuming it would be evening time for you. Or, no, midday. Midday-ish? Early afternoon? Friday? We were talking about your pallet packs earlier. I've just trying to figure out how to get wood chips, and I've got the Great Plains one. What do you call them? The Great White North. And thought wood chip pallets might be a option instead of going through and chipping wood. $2 PM Friday. You're on the homeward stretch to the weekend. Anzac 1977. Hello, how are you and welcome. Nice to have you here, join the stream. I think I can't remember whether I saw your name previously, but am I correct if Anzac is the, you're either an Aussie or a Kiwi? I do polar bear. Actually, Welker's Millennium Farmer, Cold the Corn Star, Mike Mitchell. Sort of, they're probably the 4 I keep tabs on the most. I'm not going to do them to sell. I want them for in the carton factory. So I need wood chips for that, and trees and water, and so I thought that might be a way to do it, rather than I'm not I didn't want to cheat the system. But I did remember seeing Silly P do that on 6 Ashes. I noticed I've got the other pallet pack he did as well, which is the very cheap costs. The lizard one on No Creek Farms. Oh, there you go. I see. I wouldn't be cheating. I'd be using them the way the creator intended them to be used. Alright, did that lift in? No. Why is that not lifting? I think I had the grain cart selected. Alright, let's get that swung around. Oh, Kiwi, cool. What part of New Zealand are you in, Anzac? Haha. Yeah, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, Scorpion. Well, you've got to entice the customers in somehow, quiet. So if you can do that by providing some bargain rates on your product, then still turn a profit, you'll be fine. I don't know what your competitors will think about you though. Their margins might be slashed. I've actually been meaning to ask you, Quiet Hitman, for a while. The tax signs you made. I remember CLP showing us them and talking about them. I don't know that it was a strange coincidence, but literally about 2 weeks before you did that, I posted a comment in his on one of his videos saying that he needed, you know, a tax sign or something along the lines of a sign in the same way that the government subsidy mod worked, but in reverse, that took money off. So, you know, place a sign that costs however much and it disappears. And then, you know, lo and behold, 2 weeks later they turned up. So I don't know whether it was great minds think alike or whether you took some inspiration from that comment. Hey Andre, I am doing well, thanks bud. It's been a great way to start the day, getting on here and having a chat to everyone, getting some work done on the farm. Oh cool mate, yeah, we're I'm down in the Manawa too. Often head up between Rotorua and Taupō out that way. We've got family in Tauranga and often go to Taupō for holidays, so but it's just the strangest coincidence then. Man, that's cool. I like that. We'll go with the great minds think alike. That's a shame they wouldn't allow that. What sort of farming do you do, Anzac? You must be in that neck of the woods, dairy mainly, is it? I know obviously all the forestry that's been taken out through that way. A lot of dairy up there now, but Same thing. I'd sort of, you know, I can understand where they're coming from with the no cheat mods, but I don't know if I agree with it. I mean, people will play the way they want to play. So like the, you know, Eureka farms, if people wanted to play with huge capacity, fast harvest, they would. If they didn't want to, they wouldn't. They didn't have to. That's kind of a false thing to say no more. People do it if they choose to do it, but anyhow. It's always a case of time. Time is always the thing, and having a good idea and getting it out there first. I always think that too with, you know, if I have a map idea, or sorry, a video idea, it's like, gosh, someone else is going to come through and do it before I do. What if they don't? What if they do and I've spent some time doing it? Well, that sounds good, Anzac. Not too many crazy hours doing that, I imagine. Not having to get up and milk cows at stupid o'clock. Yeah, the farm I grew up on was all dry stock beef and cropping, so we actually used to grow potatoes when I was younger. But now it's progressed more into sort of dairy support with maize, silage and things like that, as well as the beef. We've done all sorts over the time though. Dad grew onions, yams, grains, wheat. Used to grow a lot of pumpkins to export to Japan. All sorts of different experiences. What colour equipment do you use for your ag contracting? Have you seen the Quiet Hitman? Have you seen the moonshine still that Kaz is developing for one of his maps? It looks like it uses the similar principles to the whiskey one in terms of being production, but he's sort of downsized it to being more of a bootleg operation. Thought it was pretty cool. Right, I'm going to end up getting some really short rows going that way, so now that I've things locked up there. Nice, yeah. We get a mix of case and obviously lots of green John Deere down around our way. Contractors. I messaged him on Facebook, I was commented on one of his posts and asked if it was going to be a placeable, but no plans at this stage. Should be gearing up for maize silage then, Anzac. Yeah, I should do another headland pass. I think I'll be right. There's enough, hopefully enough space. Although I hadn't noticed this river that's on the end here. There's another field, little bit of a field between here and the river, but there's quite a big ravine and a river at the edge here, which we were looking at earlier and was saying it's a perfect workers trap. See down there. Just cut across the field to show you. But I can imagine a number of workers if you weren't using courseplay, and even possibly using courseplay, are going to end up stuck down there and needing to be fished out. Well, fair enough. Seems to be a lot more, a lot of contractors popping up and a lot of new equipment driving around at the moment. Alright, so this is all going pretty well. Getting the fertilizer and certainly the nitrogen levels are going up in the field, which is good. I do need to go over and get the interrogator topped up again with some more lime. That's the important thing, you know, so long as you've got enough to keep whoever you employ busy, or I know with I have a business myself, my day job, and you know, the more employees you have, the more hassles you have, and that, so everything's working for you, long may it continue. So talking a bit earlier too, if anyone's interested, we've got a multiplayer server on the Discord, and this time tomorrow, or same time as the stream started, we'll be jumping on, and we have actually going to do a silage harvest on that. So we've got that all set up. It's 10 slots at the moment, so if you jump in the Discord, there's a link to download the mods. They're all off Mod Hub, and I've got the name of the server in there so you can find it on the matchmaking, and tomorrow morning, once we're all set up, I'll post the link in Discord, and if anyone is interested in joining, feel free. I'd love to have you there. Thanks Anzac. It's yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve for me, getting a microphone and talking. Certainly much easier doing it in this environment, just chatting and interacting with you guys, but I've found it much harder to do the videos because I end up talking for too long and then having to cut a whole lot of it out. So, but I'm slowly getting my head around how much I need to say and what I need to say to try and make them as efficient as possible, but still being informative and keeping you all engaged and entertained. I do need to do a bit of work on where my setup is. It's quite a hard space and is a little bit echoey, I do know that, so that's sort of one of the improvements I do want to make to the audio. Oh, I was worried this was going to be too big for this field, but actually it hasn't been too bad. A bit tied up in those two little corners, which is always going to be the case, but it hasn't gone as bad as I thought. I do still think getting a smaller planter, the DB60, might be a good idea. I don't know whether I'll get rid of the DB90. I think I've seen that one, Anzac. Is that on Facebook, I think. Can't remember the name of the person making it. Is it Aussie Farms or something like that? I actually played a little bit of the, was it Ninghin Farms? I played a little bit of that on console. It was 7 or 8 months ago, and that was kind of a cool map from a, you know, Australian farming point of view. Oh, sorry, Drummer, you won't be able to post links if that's what you've done. I can't see that, but if you do want to find the link to the Discord, it's in the channel description, or the video description. There'll be a link to it down the bottom, or any of my other videos if you want to find it. Do they have a release date for it, Anzac, or an anticipated release date? I was going through downloading a few mods a while ago and sort of getting some of the Call-em-on bins and some of the different field bins and different things they use in Australia. Sort of forget that they have, you know, a lot of the Australian farms are big stations and that are on a similar scale to what you see in some of the American farms. I'll have to find them anyhow. Have to have a look at it any day now. Wow, okay. Oh, that's one to have a look at. Yeah, I've played a little bit on the Wild West map, but that one didn't float my boat. I don't know why. I was playing on it on a multiplayer server though, and there was quite bad lag, and it just wasn't an enjoyable experience all around. So. But I haven't looked at I haven't played the other one. Is that the one that's got like 4 farms all put together? Hello Sam, yep, we're still going. Probably, just having a look at the time, been going for about just almost 2 hours, probably maybe for another 20 minutes or so. It'll be 8:30 AM local time, so for me. Be enough time, I'll get this wheat field finished. And I was just looking at my list of where else I was going to put wheat in 58, so might jump next door and get that little wheat field done as well. That might just about be us finished. Oh, and I wondered what was happening. It hasn't given me a... It had not told me we were out of fertilizer. I did see the texture change. Was it just at the end of that last run? Looks like it from the map, so... Right there, so that's alright then. We'll go over and get this topped up with some more fertiliser. Which will give me a chance to quickly get the irrigator topped up and going again. It was actually good to see Kaz has had a couple of maps released on console this week. Or in the last couple of weeks at least. Be cool to see another Kiwi out doing their thing. Alright, so that looks like the seed in that one. Must mean the front one is the fertilizer. Okay. Alright, see how well I can get this lined up again. There we go. Right, let's go find this guy, drummer. Only a very, very small part to do. I think that's part of what attracts me to it a little bit too, and Zach, is it's different to what you know or what you're familiar with. We always used to have, we had a couple of little Fords when I was growing up, what I used to drive. All good, mate. No, I appreciate you trying to share that. It's just one of the things with how the stream works is, you know, obviously we don't want people sharing a whole lot of links all the time because you have no control over it, so the only way is to have a moderator do it. I do appreciate you trying to share that for us. It's funny because just the way I've set things up on the different games I've played so far, I haven't really had the chance to get into the really big stuff. I did have a PS4 game on Lone Oak, but even then I was still only, you know, none of these big drills other than the Full Go packs had come out for console, so I was still stuck with like the Great Plains and whatnot as the biggest equipment. But so I think while we're here and I have the auger out, I'll get the some more seed put in the drill as well. Tell you what though, considering we haven't brought any equipment or anything today, we've almost burnt through $70,000 on seed and fertilizer and lime. I suppose the precision farming will tell us what we've spent. This, unfortunately, this field here is all one, so it will assess it all as one. But yeah, it's $45,000 spent on seed, fuel, seed, fertilizer, fuel. This one up here, 18 grand spent there. So right. Now, technically speaking, I should be able to go current waypoint, and you should go back over and finish off that piece over there. Like, you're heading in the right direction, so we'll go back here. Where are we going? That'll be folding in, yep, so we'll go to that one. Alright, let's get this topped up with a bit more seed. Right, there we go, let's get that folded away and back over and get this field done. Looks like the Terrogator's heading in the right direction. Good job, drummer. I'll start getting that unfolded. Takes a while. The animations on this is pretty impressive. Even once it's fully unfolded the frame, it goes through and lowers every row individually. Just pause here for a second so you can see it. It starts from the middle, there you go. Perfect. Alright, see if I can put this down here and just go over this piece and get some fertilizer on it. No. Oh yeah, there we go. I know we wouldn't normally oversow a spot to save having to come back and fertilise that bit all on its own later. We'll just do this. Right. Well, I can see in the top left corner you're using your lime up, so I can only assume you have not found any shade and you're doing what you're being paid to do. You must be turning around right now because you're not using the lime, so we're at the end of a row. Good. I know you've reached your end point, so all the lime's done in that field. If any of you are wondering why we've got Drummer Farms, Fusion Sims and Scott George, 3 channel members here who are helping me out as part of the contractor mod. Anyone who joins the channel through the membership option down the bottom, I've said I'd name a contractor, one of the contractors after them, so we'll get you out here doing some work for me. And we can even customize the way you look. This is Fusion Sim sitting in the tractor there. But any of the default customizations for the avatars in the game, we can change your shirt color, your hair, skin, hat, everything. Right. So that's our first field planted. We'll be celebrating that a little bit more. Let's just have a quick look on the map here. Interestingly enough, it doesn't look like it's applied nitrogen to that section, even though I'd filled up with fertilizer. Or why that might be. Anyhow, there we go. It's going to come up yellow for planted with the seasons on. Shows up yellow. Now actually, 58 still needs ploughing, so I'm not going to plant that now. Good thing I had looked at that. Yeah, so we've used up some fertilizer, and it's showing the colour state for fertilizer, but for some reason it hasn't shown it in the nitrogen map. Not sure why that might be. Right, let's get over here. Seeing that field needs ploughing, and it's the next one I want to plant, I'll get Scott over there and get that ploughed. Tidy up these little bits. So I guess yeah, just about getting towards the end of the stream. Another 10 minutes or so. So I guess next time we'll have a whole heap of planting to do. I was hoping to get some forestry done today, but I think I'll get set up for that a little bit better. Have a look at a few more mods for what we could use to cut down the trees. Possibly even use some of the FDR stuff or something I've been using in my forestry videos. Oh, welcome back Malachi. Just in time for the last 10 minutes or so. haven't even looked in this shed. There's one over here. I haven't put anything in there yet, but I was thinking it could be a good one for any of the animal equipment. Not sure what we're going to need for that when we get some pigs. Ignore me driving over our freshly sown field. Let's get this last little bit tidied up here. Haha. Alien Jim had had enough. No more Malachis. Haha. Oh, I know from Discord you're always keen to watch some live streams, so it's great to have you back here. Alright. It's going to be the best way to get to that field. We go cut across 60. Get into the top end of 58 that way. The probing. Right. I'll set them going. We probably won't see this finished, just with timing being where it is and where we are in terms of finishing off, but first waypoint. Four fields of barley, nice. That'll be a good little bit of income for you. Do you bale the straw, or what do you do with the straw off that? Have you got? I think you've said you've got animals on that one, so whether you use it for bedding or feed mix. Alright, that's that done. Let's just have a look here at Drummer's end job. Not too bad. Still a couple of spots that could use a little bit. Just run over those ourselves. There we go, the automatic shut off is working there. Right. That's actually taken quite a while. I know I haven't been attending to them as quickly as possible with getting the line filled up, but that took quite a chunk of time, and pretty much the whole stream to get those 2 fields or 3 fields lined. Alright, so I'll drive this until we run out, and then I think once we're back filling up I might call that the end of the stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed today. It's been fun chatting to you all. Certainly got a lot done, so pretty much everything's cultivated or ploughed and ready to plant. Certainly the majority, or at least probably half our fields have been lined, or half our land area has been lined, so that's another task finished. And so then we're into the planting, and with the seasons the way they are, the temperature the way it is, we can really only get the wheat planted and only have one more field of wheat lined up, and then it's corn, soybeans and sugar beet to plant. So next time we'll certainly get into a bit of logging, getting some trees cut down so we can get the carton factory going. And possibly look at, we'll get that other wheat field going, and then depending on time we might skip forward a day and see if the temperature will rise enough that we can get some planting done. Get some more planting done at least. I did talk about ploughing up a few of the little extra bits too over on field 8. Over there. There's the bit bit down here in the corner and maybe square this off a little bit more. It feels like that, Scorpion, it really does, that you... I suppose, you know, I wasn't jumping back and forth between the workers that needed attention when they did, but I'm pretty happy with what we've got done today. Still need to think about changing out that Challenger, with possibly replacing it with the Steiger. But at the moment, I mean, with the equipment we've got, we've been able to do everything we needed to, so maybe I don't need another tractor at this stage. Might be better off putting it into a some forestry equipment, or certainly I'll have a look at tankers, for water tankers for next time. Oh, it's been a pleasure, Scorpion. Been great hanging out with you and chatting to you. Live logging. I don't know if you saw any of a Farm Sim guy's stream on Bucks County the other day, but if it could go wrong, it did. But he laughed his way through the whole thing. It was actually quite fun. It was quite good. But yes, if you want something to challenge the patience, I can imagine live logging will be one of them. Yeah, the Agco 1000. I have a feeling it could be an IC enabled tractor, and it could be an issue with that, but yeah, the large tractors. Find where it is now. Maybe it's under medium. I'll have a look once we get turned around here. Thought it came under large tractors, but I just skipped past it in my haste. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that one there. Yeah, the Fendt Challenger Special, Fendt Gens, Fendt Silver Grey. Oh yeah. It started off right from the start, which you obviously caught with the with his audio issues. Which I don't know if you saw in Discord, was his link in Discord had started auto playing it. So his video was playing in the background in Discord, and obviously the OBS was picking that up. I'll have a bit of a play around with it, Scorpion, and maybe in another single player or something like that with no other mods, and see maybe it's a mod conflict rather than blaming the mod itself. It could be a conflict with another mod that's giving it grief. But I was using that one because John Modding had put a logo on it for me, so I thought that would be a cool one to have in here. But with the Steiger that came out, I thought, you know, that would be a very nice looking tractor to have as well. Thanks, Polar Bear. Great to have you here, mate. It's been a pleasure chatting to you. Pleased to hear things are warming up in Texas. Yeah, hearing FSG once is enough. Hearing him 3 times. Oh. Alright, there we go. So I've finished there. Got that whole field done in one. It's nice. So we'll leave the plough going so that they finish off for next time. And I know I said I'd put everything away, but I think I'll just leave the drill out there, and that can be our the seeder out there, and that can be our first thing we do next time, is get that other wheat field planted, so then I know that's all done. I think for now we will leave the irrigator to fill up. We'll have a quick look at our progress. So we've managed to lime 58, 59, 8 and 63, so only these fields here, so we've certainly got all the liming done. Once the plough's finished, that's all the cultivating done, and then we're well into our planting. So it's been a good session. So thanks everyone, it's been great to have you all here, great chatting. Enjoyed hearing what you're up to, what you're doing, and that, but wherever you are, I hope you all have a wonderfully safe weekend. And for those of you who can join, I'd love to see you on the multiplayer server tomorrow, so same time as the stream started, so 6:30 AM for me, but we've got the times. Have a look on Discord, the link's down in the description below. But other than that, I am going to finish up there and just say thanks again, and I'll catch you all again next week. Certainly look forward to this one, so can't wait to get back into it next week with you all. But that's all from me, bye for now.